This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, we'll start now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monica IT. Yesterday, we have discussed about the introduction about the Angular 13, what are all the basic softwares required for the Angular 13. So in this class, I'm going to explain you about the data binding concept. Guys, if you are new to this particular training, so I would like to suggest you to go through the my YouTube channel. So already I have pasted in the Angular 13 training. So you can go through the my previous videos in that particular channel, so that you will get the clear idea. Before this tutorial, we have discussed about the how to install the softwares and like what is component and what is the module. So once if you go through that, it will be easy for you to understand this particular this particular session. Anyhow, I'll show you what is component and what is module again in this particular video also. So okay, we will today we'll discuss about the data binding. So what is data binding in Angular? Any answers for this? What is data binding in Angular?
Like showing the data from TS file to HTML or HTML to TS file.
Okay, okay, yeah, exactly correct. Karthik, any other answers?
Data binding deals with how to bind the data from component to HTML DOM elements. There are two types of data binding, one-way data binding and two-way data binding. In one-way data binding, we can send the data from source to view either using within square brackets. Yeah, within square brackets. I think it is a property binding. And another one is event binding.
Yes, exactly, Arshita. Like whatever you told, it was correct. So okay, we'll discuss in detail. So data binding is a process that provides the communication between communication between view and component class. So, basically, if you want to communicate between a view on the component class, sir, here what is meant by the view? So, view is nothing but we can consider it as a HTML page, or HTML content. Sir, what is component class? Component class is nothing but, so we are going to define the properties and methods in the component class. Sir, why do I need to define the properties and methods in the component class? Means, so if you want to write the business logic, business logic or the functionality, so we are going to do everything in the component class. Whereas if you want to define the HTML elements paragraph or heading elements, or if I want to show some list kind of elements, so we are going to define all those things in the view, or we can call it as a HTML page or HTML template. So end user is going to see all the HTML content by using the view. So the basic definition was data binding is the process. You can consider data binding is the process that provides the communication between the view and the component class. Or we can call it like this also. Instead of communication, we can call it as synchronization also. Synchronization. So mainly, if you want the communication between the both view and the component, so we'll be going with the data binding. Let me show you like this. For example, so I'll take this as a view. I'll take one more as a component class. So this is the component class. View or template. This is component class. Now I want the, I mean, communication between these two, like, so if you want to achieve that, so we are going to use the data binding. So whether it can be communication from the view to component, or like from component to view. I mean, we can achieve both the ways. So I mean, we can communicate from the view to component, and at the same time we can communicate from the component to view also. Like, I'll show you with the one example how we are going to communicate. So if you're going to do the, like, both, like from view to component and the component to view, so we'll be calling as a two-way data binding. So this is the, like, definition of the data binding in Angular. So in the data binding, like, we have the two techniques. Two techniques are present in data binding. So first one is one-way data binding, and second one is two-way data binding. So here I mean, the direction, like, the data binding, it will be in the only one way. Like, let me take it as a one-way data binding. So the communication will be in only in a single direction. So for example, I can take it as a view to component, or like component to view. So we'll see one example. So first, like, we'll go with the one-way data binding. So next, like, we'll explain the two-way data binding. So in the one-way data binding, like, if you want to achieve the one-way data binding, we have the, I mean, a few different techniques. The first one is called, like, string interpolation. String interpolation. Guys, like, I mean, sir, I mean, everything was fine. Like, the data binding, it provides the communication between the view and the component. Like, we have the two techniques, like one-way data binding and two-way data binding. Sir, what is the advantage? Like, why should I go for the data binding? Sir, why do I need to use the data binding? So this is my next question. Like, any answers for this? I just want the some one real-time scenario where exactly we are going to use the data binding.
So while implementing the forms, showing the data.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain this way. Any other answers? Okay. I'll do one thing. Let me start. I think everyone is aware of, like, I mean, how to install the softwares, and like how to set up the basic Angular project in our local machine. So I have installed one project called the sample application. I have given the project name as the sample application. So I mean, once I'll go to this folder. Now I want to run this particular project. What I will do was, I need to open the command line from this particular path. So what I will do is, like, I'll simply click here. So I will enter CMD. So once if you enter CMD, so like we'll be opening the command from this particular path. We can see here I was in F drive Angular training, and inside the Angular training, like, we are in the sample application folder. Now, like, I mean, how to run the Angular application? If you want to run the Angular application, we can do with the two ways. Like, we can execute the ng surf, or like we can do with the npm run start. Sir, what is the difference between these two? Anyone having any idea? So we can execute the both the commands ng surf. Sometimes, like, in the projects we can see some people are doing npm run starts. Like, what is the difference between these two?
Sir, this ng service is Angular command, npm start is Node.js command.
Okay. Okay. Any other answers? Okay, I'll tell you the difference. Like, basically, like both the comments are same only. I'll show you the difference. So once if you run the ng server, what it will do was like it will compile and it will build our application and it will loads in the browser by using the localhost 4200. But if I run the npm run start, guys, like you people are aware of this package.json. What is meant by the package.json? So package.json, it will be having the all the details about the our application, our Angular application. So I'll show you. So whenever if you run the npm run, whenever if you run the npm run, it will execute these commands like whatever we have provided in the scripts. For example, if I run the npm run, so inside the scripts, like I have the start, so it will take this command, even though like I told you, right, both are same. If I run the npm run start now from the package.n, from package.json, it will comes to the script and it will checks for the what is the equivalent string or the text for this particular npm run start. So it will execute this ng serve. So let me run npm run start. So once if I run the npm run start now, here we can see like a sample application start. So for the start, what we have given here, like we have given ng server. So that's why it is taking as the ng server. So we can do the npm run start ng server. So like both are equal only. But if I change some command, if I add some flags or kind of thing, so at that time this command will get changed. Yeah, it will take like 2 to 3 minutes to compile the application. So next, like we'll go for this one, data binding. So string interpolation, in the string, first the technique was the string interpolation. So if you want to achieve the communication from the component to view, so we are going to use the string interpolation. So it will helps us to communicate between the component class component class to view. So what is the example like? So I have one property inside the component class. I just want to show that property value in the view. For example, I have, for example, movie name. I'll take it as a triple R. So I have this particular text. I have this particular property in the component class, and I just want to print this particular value inside the view or the HTML. So for this, if you want to achieve this one, so we are going with the string interpolation. So if you want to use the string interpolation in the view, so we are going to use the double curly braces. We'll be calling this as a Angular expressions also. We'll be calling this as a Angular expressions also. So by using this double curly braces, we can achieve the string interpolation. I'll show you the once the application was compiled. It is still generating the bundles. Sir, where exactly I'm going to use in the real time means, for example, if I go for example, I have the login page. Once if I click on the once if I enter the username and password, click on the login. So like we'll be getting the we'll be displaying the username, right? Username in the right side corner, right? So every time, like whenever the user was logged in, login, the username will be dynamic, like it is not constant. So it will be changing. So if I want, so we'll be getting the username in the component, and I need to show that in the view. In that scenario, like we can use the string interpolation. So application was compiled. Let me show you with a small example. Now I'll go to this src. The actual code, like whatever the code like we are going to we are going to write or modifying, it will be in the it will be in the src folder. I click on the src. Now I'll go to the app.component.html. So here we have like a few text like welcome to Hyderabad and some sample div element. Let me comment this one. So in the app.component.ts, what I will do is like I'll define like one title. Its type is string, so I'll give it as a welcome to Monica IT. Guys, this is the basic component. Like this is the basic component structure. I think everyone is aware of this. So I mean, if you don't have any idea about it, like what is component selector template URL, you can watch my previous videos. You can get the clear idea about it. So inside this app component, I just defined the one title called welcome to Monica IT. Now my requirement was like I want to print this text in the in the browser. Like I want to show that particular text here. So for that, what I was doing was like I'll take one h1 element, h2 element here, h2. So I'll use the double curly braces. This is called like the string interpolation. So we have defined one property here, right? So I have defined one property title, right? So I'm going to use this property name inside this double curly braces. So title. So I'll save this file. Yeah, we can see like welcome to Monica IT. So I mean, whenever if you have the dynamic data, I mean, this is just I'm showing one example. For example, I'll take one more logged in user. Logged in user equals to Venkatesh. So now I want to display this particular name. I want to display this particular name in the view, and here like I have free defining this Venkatesh. But whenever if you go for the real time applications, or so I told you, right. So whenever if you click on the sign in button, so we'll be getting the like whatever the username we have given, right. So we'll be getting that username and we'll be assigning that username to this logged in user property. So in that scenario, we are having the dynamic value and we are trying to print that dynamic value in the HTML. So let me take one more. I'll take it as h3. Logged in user. So now we can see the Venkatesh name. For example, if I can't give the always like Venkatesh here. Like I should not hard code like this in the real time applications. Like I should not do it because whenever the user gets changed, like whenever the new user is getting logged in, no, we should show the different username. So that's why like we'll be using this string interpolation technique. So this was the communication was happened from the component class to view. So we have defined the one property in the component. Now I want to display this particular property in the view, right? So here we can call the data binding technique was from component to view. Guys, any doubts here? Okay, I'll take it as a okay. So next, like this is the one example, right? Now with this double curly braces, we can do the arithmetic operations also. For example, I'll take one more thing, H3. Yeah, who's this? Yeah,
Yeah, Venkatesh.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, if you give H3 tag and H2 tag, it's directly it will be printed uh, in Chrome, sir. But why are you taking the app component separately, sir? In this,
Do you have any idea about the components?
yes, sir. Components. Okay, sir.
Yeah, let me explain this way. So basically, if you take the any Angular application, we should have the one root module. So we should have the one root module and we should have the one root component. So each and every Angular application will be having the one root component and the one root module. So in this application, I have the app component as a root component. For example, let me go to the index.html. So this is our index.html. So if I gives that, h3 tag here also it will work, sir. So this is the one index.html file, right? So here I told you, right, each and every Angular application will be having the one root component. So for that, like I have provided the root component selector name here. I mean, the select here, selector is nothing but, so if I want to access this particular component, if I want to access this particular component, or if I want to show that particular component text in the browser, so we should have the one root component. That root component selector is like app root. Like we can consider this as a one custom HTML element. We can consider this as a one custom HTML element. So I have given this app root in index.html, so that like I'm able to see the whatever the content I have given in the app component. For example, I will change this to apps root. So now we can see the error. Let me save this one. Yeah, now let me go to the console, like by right clicking, and I'll click on this inspect. Yeah, now we can see this the selector app group did not match any elements, because like I have changed this custom selector or custom elements name inside the body. That's why like we are getting the error. Venkatesh, basically, so each Angular application will be having the one root module and the one root component. So I mean, in this application, like the app component is the root component, right? That's why like whatever the data binding techniques I was showing by taking this HTML file. Is that clear, Venkatesh? Okay. So I mean, now like we can do the arithmetic operations by using the string interpolation also. For example, I'll take as 10 plus 50. So it will also works. So we can see like the string interpolation, it will evaluates the arithmetic operations also. And one more thing, for example, here I have the title, right? What was the title? We have the welcome to Monica IT, right? Now I want to concatenate some string, like other extra additional string to this particular title. So I can do like this also. I mean, I am learning Angular in Monica IT. I mean, this is also possible. Like this is also we can call this is also one valid expression. So I am taking this title, title from the component, and to this like I am adding like some more text to it. So let me show you the output. I'll take this as a, I will take this as a one string, like a double curly, empty string, so that it will take it as a space, and like it will concatenate. So we can get the entire text, like welcome to Monica ID and the other text. So we can do like all these things by using the interpolation. And one more thing was like we can execute the methods also. For example, let me show you. So I'll write one method here. So get product cost. So I'll return its value as 100. Now I want to print this particular value in the view by using the interpolation. So we can call this method directly inside the view. So app.component, I'll take h4. I'll take the interpolation as a double curly braces, and I will call that method. So this is also possible. Like in the real time, sometimes like we need to call these methods directly in the view. So we can do like this also. Yeah, we can see like
Sir,
we got the, I mean, product cost.
sir,
Yeah. Who's this?
Karthik, sir, we can use this dot get product also. It will show or it will throw error, sir.
Here?
Here, yeah, this dot get products. It will work.
No. Yeah, here it will work.
Okay, sir.
Basically, like I mean, we are going to use this. I mean, this keyword like in the component classes. I mean, we are going to use the component class in the like TS files. I mean, if you want to define, like I'll show you that example also. For example, now I am returning this value as dynamically, right? So I'll do one thing. Like I'll show you that in the event binding how this works. So I mean, this is all about the interpolation. The communication is from the component to view. Next, we'll move to the property binding. So next technique was like property binding. So this is also like we'll be using for the communication from the component class to view only. So component class to view. I'll show you one example. For example, I have one div element. I want to add some text dynamically. I mean, I want to add some text dynamically to this div element. So for that, what I will take is I'll take one property like inner text. So I am going to define the property from the component class, and I'll give that property here. So I'll take one more property called like username equals to Karthik. Now I want to print this particular text inside the div element. So I'll take like this. So username. Now we can see like we got this output. Now like this is the one way, and now we can do this one also. For example, I want to print one image. I just want to show one image in the web page. So I can do like this also. I can use the src property, and I'll define the image URL inside the component. User image URL. So I have one default image URL. So I'll take this one, HTTPS. I have just copied this URL from the internet. So copy. We'll see the output. I'll give the here as a user image URL. And now we can see the we can able to get the image in the web page. So for the property binding, for the interpolation, we have used the double curly braces, right? For the property binding, like we are going to use the square brackets. The syntax was that the property, everything will be enclosed with the square brackets. So square brackets equals to, unlike I have given as a property defined in the component class. Sir, here like I have one doubt, like from component to view, we can use the string interpolation also. So again, like why do you need the property binding? For example, let me remove this one, image src, and I can directly use the string interpolation. We'll see whether it will work or not. And here also I'll remove this one. I'll use the interpolation. Yeah, so I mean it is working. Then like what is the difference between the interpolation and the property binding? So it is we can do the inner text by using the interpolation, and we can do with the property binding. Like what exactly is the difference? Any answers?
Sir, in case of
Okay.
conditions.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show you one example. So basically, the property binding, whatever we have defined with the square brackets, right? So we are going to use the property binding like in the most of the scenarios, we are going to use the property binding for like for like non-string values, like whether if I want to use the boolean or some object data kind of thing. So we'll be going with the property binding. So yeah, for this, I'll show you one example. For example, I'll take one button. So I want to I'll give button name as a login. I want to disable this button based on the like a form or like the form condition. So if the form is invalid means like I want to disable this button. If I fill everything in the form means like I want to enable this login button. So if you want to enable and disable, so we have the one predefined property called disabled. So let me show you. I'll take as a property binding. So inside this, I'll use the disabled property. So disabled. So here we need to write the condition like whether this login form is valid or not. Like we need to provide the either true or a false. Let me define one property. Like is form valid? I'll take its type as a boolean. Boolean equals to, I'll give it as a true. So I have defined one property which types as a boolean, and I have assigned value as a true. Now I'll take this property name. I'll add it here for this login button. Is form valid? Let me comment this image thing. Now we can see the button is disabled. Why the button was disabled was like I have used the disabled property and I have given this value as a true, right? So disabled equals to true means like the button was disabled. So let me take one more, like I'll take one more button with the sign up. To differentiate between the interpolation and the property binding, I'll take one more button. So now we have the two buttons, right? Let me change its value. Like let me comment this one. So now we have this is form valid value as a true, right? Now I'll change this value to the false. So what happened? So if I give the value as a false means like the disabled is false means it is enabled. Now I'll uncomment this one. So for this, what I will do was like I will remove this one property binding. I'll just use the string interpolation. See now here if you see actually we have provided like is form valid value as a true. So in this scenario actually it like the button will be enabled, right? So for login button it is working fine if I use the property binding. So if I go for the string interpolation, no, it is not working. So in the real-time scenarios, the property binding will be used for the non-string values. For example, like these scenarios, if I have the my value as a boolean or object or some other if I want to print some array kind of values, so we can go with the property binding. So this is the difference. For example, what happens if I change this value as a true? Now we can see like the both the buttons is disabled, so that here I mean property binding is working for the boolean values, whereas for the interpolation is not working. Like if I try to use the boolean values, not like it is not working. So like this is the difference between the interpolation and the property binding. So like we'll be denoting with the square brackets, like disabled. So next we have the one more thing was the event binding. So event binding, it will happens from the view to component. View to component. So here the event is nothing but, so whenever if I click on some button, so the here the we can call it as a click is a one event. It is an event. Or for example, if I take I mean double click, I mean it means like double click, this is also one event. So whenever if I click on one button, so button will be present in the view, right? So whenever if I click on one button, so we should do some action in the component class, like we should throw some alert, or I just want to do some business logic in the component class. So for this scenario, like we are going to use the event binding. So I'll take one button here. Button, I'll give button name as a greet me. So we are going to use the click event, right? So I'll write one method called like say hello. So here for the property binding, we have used the square brackets. For the event binding, so we are going to use the parentheses. So I have enclosed the click event inside the parentheses equals to, and I have written the method like say hello. So whenever if I click on this button, I want to call this particular method called say hello. So let me define this method inside the component class. So after this, I'll define say hello. So here I'll, I mean, once if I click on the button, like I want to show one alert. So alert, hey, how are you? We'll execute this. So we have this greet me, right? So once if I click on this, we can see the hey, how are you? So this is called the, I mean, event binding. So here the communication was happening from the view. So I am just clicking on this particular button in the template. So I mean, once if I click on this button, so we are getting the appropriate action. Means like here I am showing the one message. But now my requirement was like whenever if I click on the greet me, I just want to print that value here. Like I mean, after this, I mean simple primary alert. So how can we do this? Guys, any answers for this? So whenever if I click on the button, I want to show the particular text in the view.
Sir, we'll take one variable in the TS file and we'll display it in the HTML file, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take one more variable here. I mean, greet message. Its type is a string. I mean by default I'll take it as a empty. So now whenever if I click on this particular button, I want to print some, like I mean hey, how are you, kind of thing in the view. Now I'll assign this start greet message equals to
Without consider single quotation, we got error, right?
yeah.
Why, sir?
So basically, so whenever, I mean, like if you take in the latest versions, no, so it is showing like we have defined the value. At the same time, we should initialize it. I mean, or like we don't have the constructor.
Okay.
So for that reason, like I have taken as a, I mean, some empty value.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
So greet message. So I'll take it as a how are you? So now I want to print this in the view, right? So that's why like I have taken it as a like this start greet message. Like I have defined one property inside the component. So in the method like this start greet message means here this refers to the this particular, I mean, app component class. Inside this we have this property, right? Greet message. So I'm assigning to the new value. Hey, how are you? So now I want to print this in the view. I'll print by using the interpolation. So once if I click on the greet me, yeah, yeah, we can see like so we got the text. So this is called the event binding. So event binding will helps us to communicate from the view to component class. So like these are the like I mean like most of the times like we'll be using these techniques in the one-way data binding, like string interpolation and the property binding and the event binding. Still we have the like a few more bindings like attribute binding, and we have the style binding. We have the class binding. So we'll see these examples in the further classes. Like I mean, whenever I'm going to discuss about the directives, like class style and like which will comes under the further structural directives. Like I'm going to discuss all those things in while discussing the directives concept. So next, like we'll move to the two-way data binding. Guys, any doubts until here? Until one, I mean, until one-way data binding.
So variable after exclamatory symbol, we not consider the quotation, right?
Where? Uh,
In TSY.
okay.
Uh,
Can you repeat your question once again?
Get message after put the exclamatory symbol, we not consider the single quotation. In declaration, sir, get message declaration where?
Okay.
Please
I
remove
mean,
the
okay. Okay.
greet message after put the exclamatory symbol.
Okay. Like this.
It's right, sir.
Yeah, it is right. I mean, we can consider this as an optional kind of thing. Yeah, it will works also.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
So like I mean, in the one-way data binding, the communication was in the like single direction from the component to view or like view to component. Whereas like for the two-way data binding, no, it will works like from the like it will works as a bidirectional way from the view to component and the component to view. So let me show you one example with like uh, two-way data binding. So whenever if I change the view, automatically it will get updated the model or like component class. And again, so whenever model gets updated, so it will updates the view also. So this is called two-way data binding. So whenever if I update the view, So automatically it will updates the model or the component. I mean, model we can consider it as a model or a property. So we are going to define one property in the component class, right? So that property is going to update. So whenever it's updated, automatically it will updates the view also. So two-way data binding. So we are going to use it is used in input elements, or we can call it as a, I mean, form fields. So whenever if you are going to work with the form fields or the input elements in our Angular application, so we are going to use the two-way data binding. So if you want to achieve the two-way data binding, like we have the one default directive called ng model. We can achieve the two-way data binding by using the ng model directive. So let me show you, like I'll give one more example. Like, so if you want to achieve the two-way data binding, or like we can call it as a property binding plus event binding equals to two-way data binding. This is the one more definition also. So if you want to achieve the two-way data binding, we can consider we have the one property binding plus event binding. So whenever if you combine these two, we can achieve the two-way data binding. For the property binding, what we are going to use, we are defining the properties by using the curly braces, right? Sorry, square braces, right? So inside the property, for example, I'll take it as a disabled. Plus for event binding, we have used the parenthesis with the click event. So we can consider this as a two-way data binding. For example, I'll take a two-way data binding syntax as like this. So it is the combination of the property binding and the event binding. So I'm going to define this directive ng model inside this brackets. Like this is called the syntax for the two-way data binding. So I'll show you with one example, like how we are going to implement with the property binding and the event binding. So I'll take one input element. I'll take like input type as a text. So this is basic. So we can, once if you run, so we'll be getting the one basic text box, right? So we have discussed two-way data binding is nothing but the property binding plus event binding. So now I want to implement the property binding to this particular input element. What I will do was, like, I'll take one property called value. So basically, like for input type, like we'll be having value as an attribute, or we can consider it as a one property to the input element. So I'll take it as a value in the square bracket, and I'll consider it as a one property. So for this particular value, I'll define one property in the component. Like I'll take it as a movie name. Movie name equals to Pushpa. So we'll see what happens. So here also, like I'll give it as this property as a movie name. Now we can see, like so for that particular input text box, I have given a predefined value as a Pushpa. Like so I have taken one property. So inside this property, I have taken one more property in the component class. So this value is, it's related to the input, I mean input element property, whereas this is the movie name is related to the this TypeScript class property. So I have given Pushpa, right? So whenever if I change here, so nothing will happen. Like, I mean, nothing was happening. So now this is the property binding. Now I want to use the event binding also, like to achieve the two-way data binding. For that, what I will take it as, like I'll take one more method called input method. Input equals to, I'll take one method like update movie name. So I'll pass one parameter here, like $event. So here the $event was like it's a predefined event. So where, for example, whenever if I want to get the all the values or like some properties which are related to this input click no, so I can access whether the value or properties or whether it is a what kind of event. So we'll be getting all those events. This is the predefined keyword in the Angular. So we can consider this as similar to the JavaScript event, like whenever if you're using the click methods, now we'll be passing some event, right? So we can consider that both are the same. So here we have defined the update movie name. So why we are getting the error was means this update movie name method was not defined in the component. So once if I define this method in the component, so this error will remove. Now I'll go to here. So update movie name. So here what my requirement was like, so whenever if I update here, like whenever if I update the text box, for example, will be consider this text box as a view. So whenever if I update some value in the text box, so I need to update this value. We can consider this as a model or the property. So whenever if I update the text box value, so it should update this model. So once if you update this model again, it will updates in the view. Like I'll show you, I'll take one more, I'll display this movie name here with the h1 element. Movie name. Sorry, I have not completed the function. That's why we are getting the compilation errors. Let me complete the function. So update name, right? So in the HTML, we are passing the one parameter, right? Here also in the TS file also, we should accept the one argument. Like I'll take it as a event. It's a type as a event. And now I want, whenever if I update the value, whenever if I type the value in the text box, I need to assign that particular value to the movie name. So for that, what I'll do was like I'll take one let input element equals to event dot target dot value. So basically, if I want to fetch the value from this particular input text box, so this is the basic syntax, like event dot target dot value. But like in the previous Angular versions, like it should work, but nowadays we should define its event dot target dot type, whether it is a input element or like the HTML element or a div element. So we need to define that particular type here. So we can't access directly here event dot target dot value. So for that, what I'll do was like I'll define its type. So event dot target as HTML input element. Sir, why I have taken it as a HTML input element means like I am performing this particular event on the input element, right? Like input text field, right? That's why I have taken this as a event dot target as a HTML input element. So now we can access the value property. So I'll do this dot movie name equals to input element dot value. So previously what I have given, default here, event dot target dot value, right? So here what I did was I have assigned this event dot target to one local variable, like let input element. For this I have taken like input element dot value. Now we'll see. So now we'll update the tribula. So now we can see like so here what I was doing, so I have updated the text in the view, like input text box. So this text box was updating the this movie name property. So we can consider this as a model or the component class property. So once if you update this movie name property, again we are printing that same movie name property in the view. So here also it is getting updated. For example, if I remove, again if I update, no, so it is updating. So this is called the two-way data binding. So whenever if you update the view, it will updates automatically model. From the model, again it will updates the view also. So this is nothing but so we have achieved using the property binding and the event binding. So if you want to, we can achieve directly this using the single directive called ng model. So I'll take one more input type text. Sir, are we going to use this way in the real time? Means no. I mean, for better understanding, like I have explained the combination of the property binding and the event binding. But in the real time scenarios, now whenever if we're going to use the input fields, we are going to use the ng model only. So I'll take the ng model syntax. Ng model. I'll take it as a one property called city name. So let me define city name here. City name type is string. So I mean, I'll print this city name in by using the paragraph element in the view. H2. City name. So I'll give the city name before here. I'll enter HYD. Like I'll change this to Bangalore. So we can see like automatically it was updating. Guys, here I have like I mean I forget to told one thing, like so whenever if you want to use this ng model, no, we should import the forms module. So I mean I have imported this forms module in the previous class, like while explaining these declarations and the imports. So for example, let me comment this one forms module. Let me remove from here also. We'll see what happens. So here itself, like we got the like ng model, since it is not a known property of the input. So if we want to use the ng model directive, so we should have the forms module installed in the app.module.ts. Without this forms module, it won't work, because ng module was derived from the forms module, like it was using this forms module. This is all about the two-way data binding, guys. Any questions?
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, Karthik.
Sir, like even that target that value, that is the actual practice, right? But why we are using the as HTML input element? So from which version we are doing like this?
We are doing this from the like Angular 10 and above versions, Karthik. So we need to define its type. Then only like I mean TS TypeScript compiler will understand it is on event. Otherwise, like in the previous versions, like we can use directly event.target.value.
Okay, sir. So again, one more thing, sir. Like Angular JS is called MVC structure, and this is called MVVM structure, sir. Model to view, view to model, just because of this pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Like if if you don't have any questions, like we'll wind up this session. And tomorrow, like we'll discuss this. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the directives, like what are all the different directives and all those things. Guys, any questions? Let me stop my recording.